Good morning, everyone. So we're back to work on tags for the Cheaply Chic design team project, the Traveler's Notebook for fall. Now, I just pulled out a bunch of fall, and I'm going to tell you, it's cardstock. I hope I can tear it with my hand, but I did do one to see how I could do, and now I can't find it. Oh my goodness, it was right in front of me. Where did it go? Well, anyway, it will show up. I'm looking around to see if I laid it somewhere crazy, but I know that there is one that has been completed. Okay, so I just took these book pages that I had folded in half to do some tags, to collage some tags, and I kind of collect them like that. You know, whenever you use a glue page, you go like this, rip it out and save them, and then you have things ready for tags. Now, this particular book I'm just trying to use up and be done with. But yeah, I just made a tag, and that is so funny. Right here it is. It's mixed in. So you can see I haven't inked it or anything like that. So the next thing we would do to this tag is, and I'm just making several for this book because we've got a lot in this book that needs tags, right? If they're too long when we're done, we'll just cut them off and make them shorter tags, right? You can cut the width, you can cut the length, you can do however you want. And instead of inking as we go along, I'm just inking at the end. Now, I will cover every back with tea stain paper. And so it will be where you can journal on it. But I don't want to waste our time during video today to do that. And these will be decorated as we put them in the book. You know, with some kind of ephemera or something if we feel like they need it. So, tag 1 is done. Now we're going to work on tag 2. And the reason I did that one ahead is I was trying to get my husband. He helped me get my video off from earlier. So this is my second video today, which is Thanksgiving. He just left to go get us Thanksgiving dinner. Yes, we are alone this Thanksgiving, which is okay. It's because I don't feel well. And my grandson, Charlie, his teacher, and a couple people in his class this last week got COVID. So we're just not taking a chance that, you know, mine would turn into something more. And I feel like it's not COVID. I just had a COVID test right before my surgery, 3 days before. So I feel like that's, you know, I did fine. Now here I am. You see me inking when I just said I wasn't going to ink as we go along. And we're not. So this one, I decided I had this big piece of paper. I'm going to put it away. There you go. No more inking. I have this piece of paper that was nearly this size, and I just roughed up the edges. And I'm going to put it on this whole tag. So instead of putting it on the back of that, I'm just going to glue this whole piece of, it looks like a burlap paper, onto the actual book page this time, instead of, you know, instead of doing it the other way. I decided I wanted this whole page to be this color so we could just decorate it. And if every now and then I do that, and you will see it's still not quite the size it needs to be. So we'll probably let's add this little piece. It's already torn. Already looks torn, and we'll use it here at the bottom or the top. You can make it either one. Yeah. And if you decide, you know, hey, I don't like it this brown, you know, you add over it. Add over the top. And that's the nice thing about collaging. And I haven't collaged in a long time on camera. I do some off camera, but I know a lot of people do it, and I feel like, you know, I don't want to bore you if you've watched it on lots of channels. So we've got one down there, or two down, counting the one I did prior. So here is another one. And I think what we're going to do is just step along here and just find fall paper out of this. This is old paper that was in my stash. And look at these autumn pages. Aren't they cute with the little acorns and so forth? And I want all the edges to be roughed. So I'm going to kind of do that as we go. Now, some of these will be multiple, and I'm just kind of doing around the outside, and then I'll decide, you know, okay, do I want to put a whole piece here on this tag, or do I want to just do partial? And I'm not going to do them all solid like the last one, okay? So I think I'm going to start this one about right here, and I'm just going to tear it. Now, I set this aside, and this is going to be right there. Now, I've got my tag turned sideways. Don't let it confuse you. It can go any direction and be perfectly fine. Okay. So, I hope you guys are having a wonderful day. I have felt much better, I will admit, but I don't feel sick enough that I can't get on here and do a video. I felt like, you know, I was like, I'm going to do a video. Now, some of these, as you'll notice, some of these papers, they're old. I mean, these are not even in style anymore. Some of these are some old scraps, and the reason I say that is I recognize them from a long time ago. And so I don't want to do teeny tiny pieces, but at the same time, I don't, you know, I want it to be I want each one to look different. Yeah, let's do it like that. I've been using my hand. The doctor said I could. So I've been doing exactly what he told me. I'm using my hand. So I'm just going to stick this on this side, I think. I think it's a little bit straighter. Our cover will cover more on that side. I'll put it that way. And then we have this is thicker. I think I'm going to avoid the thicker paper. This is some fall paper also. And let's see. I could go ahead and let's tear that right there. Whoops. Had the weirdest dream last night. Have you ever had a dream and for the life of you, you can't remember it, but it keeps coming back to you? That's the kind of dream I'm having today. I know that sounds so crazy, but my head keeps going back to, I had a dream. But what was it about? And who was in it? And I don't know, but I had a dream last night. I'm sure most of us did, of one of some sorts. And for the life of me, I can't remember what my dream was about. But it's going to drive me crazy all day. Okay, so I want something small right in there. There's a little bit of text. We'll use some text. I don't even know if this is fall text, but it was in the fall paper, right? So we'll try it and see. Let's do it like this. Okay. Yeah, we're eating, don't fall over, Cracker Barrel for lunch. Yes, we were going to dress up and go over to another place, you know, which is what we would have done if we were we were fine in having dinner. But I really don't want to give anybody anything I have. And if I felt like going out, I would feel like having my family. So, yeah, there's a place here called Paula Dean's. And I think you all know who Paula Dean is. She has a really cool little gift shop, which I could have gone crazy in. But I remembered it's too close to Christmas to go crazy, right? So, yeah, I think I'm going to just put this just like that. I just think it will be different. So there we go. Now we will, like I said, we will be inking these as we go along. So none of them will end up looking alike. That's the thing I love about doing collage. You know, you don't know what you're going to end up with. Could end up with just about anything, right? So let's do some brown. I like this brown. We'll tear off a little bit on the edge. And I'm trying to just keep it pretty basic, you know. I don't want it to be a million little pieces, just a few big ones. And make it fun. I understand that Tim Holtz has a cutter out, or trimmer, I should say. It's like a guillotine type trimmer, and it supposedly will cut torn edges. So I think that's kind of cool. He's staying on top of what's really going on, and he understands that collaging is the thing right now. That's what makes him a good businessman. He is definitely a true artist, that's for sure. Okay, so let's use a little bit of, let me see. I'm looking under here. Let's use this. Let's use some of this. And let's see. I try to use the thinnest. If I use cardstock, I try to use a thin cardstock to collage with. And it just so happens that this is thin. There's a few thick pieces, and this is one of them. I just, you know, I like to keep it not too bulky, if possible. Right. I'm going to do a long piece of this so we can get that one long section covered. Yeah, just like that. And we have a section here, but I think on that one, let me see what color I want to use. I could probably, let's do, whoops. My right hand is not super strong right now, and so trying to hold the ruler down is not easy. It's like, what do you expect? I was just cut on. Okay. All right, let's tear this out because it's it has seen all it can take. Here we go. Now, when I have it hanging over a lot, I go ahead and trim. You know, I don't necessarily have to have them crooked on the sides. I kind of like to have it still be square or rectangular shaped. So I will end up trimming them. Usually, I didn't even look at these. Looks like these are okay. I end up trimming them to be straight. So they look nicer, you know. It depends too on what where you're putting them. Like if you're putting them in a journal that's very how do I put it? Perfect. You wouldn't want to put crooked ones in there. But I would still put collaged ones in there. So we've got 3 so far. And what's funny, you can use the same paper and they still will look different, you know? It's kind of crazy. Okay, let me get this mess cleaned up. Okay. Oh, we have a white one. So we'll cover one side. I really like this paper. I'm thinking, why not go right down the whole thing with this? And then cover one whole side. You know? So let's do this. I'm not going to worry about the outside edge being perfectly straight. But I do want that to be wiggly, crooked, torn. Okay. So you can do this same sort of thing by using decoupage. So if you decide you want to decoupage a bunch of tags, you can just lay out a piece of tea stain paper and decoupage on one side. And then when you trim it, you'll have the solid paper on the other side, and you'll be able to trim on the, have the back already covered and be able to journal without any problems. So I decided we needed some different shapes in here. And so I'm thinking right here or right here. Maybe right here. Because I think collaging can get exhausting on your hands, and you can get this a real similar look by decoupaging. So here we go. Okay, liking this one so far. How about you? I'm thinking it looks pretty good. I think I want to try and put some of, excuse me. So, I did not count to see how many we needed as far as tags go, but I know we could do at least probably 8 and be good. We've got 3, 4 counting this one so far. Let's add some brown on there. It needs a little bit of brown. Yeah, I like that. There we go. Let's just trim the edges if they need it. It's really the book page it's kind of hanging over. I don't know why it wants to do that, but you know, I usually fold them pretty quick and don't give much thought about it, honestly. So, yeah. Easy peasy. Okay, we'll get rid of these little pieces. So, let's see. Let's do something different. Here's a sunflower, but you know what? This is really thick. I better not use that. That will really mess with my hand. But this one that has this pumpkin look, that looks cool. So let's do some tearing on this. Well, I was too close to the edge on that one. Good grief. There we go. So, I think I'm going to do this. Do one part like this, and then do another part like that, and fill it in between. How about we put this underneath right there? I think that will end up looking good. Or even as we can get it. There we go. It's kind of like a little pumpkin, doesn't it? We'll do this side too. So I try real hard at Thanksgiving and Christmas and so forth not to watch Christmas movies until after Thanksgiving. So I usually will start them on Thanksgiving or start them the next day, depending, you know. And I'll watch a lot of them, you know, through December. I like to watch the new ones, although I really like the old ones better. I don't know about you guys, but I like the old ones better. They just seem to be more fun. Okay, so I'm going to cut this. Or tear this, I guess I should say. Okay. Yeah, this is perfect. I like the combination of how these colors came out together. Yeah, there we go. Looking good so far, huh? No big edges. Just a little bit right here. Yeah. Great. Okay, so that gives us a total of 6. Let's make a couple more. We'll make 2 more. And then we'll see about decorating them if we have time. So I do like adding the brown on these too, because it just, I don't know, they just look better. They look more fall to me. And I do like to stitch around them. So, I will do that off camera, but I do like to stitch around them. And then during the flip through, you'll be able to see how I stitched them. And again, it will be white thread because, oops, I just ran out of this glue stick. Let me finish this one piece of paper first before I toss it. It just fell right out. Okay, so I'm going to put this one down toward the bottom off to my left. Let me get rid of that piece of paper and that glue stick. Let me get the other glue stick. I know I have multiples over here. Just kind of have to all right, now I really like this a lot, so I'm going to use it on the opposite side. It's going to go down this side. Oh my goodness, I thought I had already tore it and I hadn't. So it's going to have a straight edge, but we'll cover it up. I don't like straight edges on my collaging, except on the outside. If you know it's going to be on the edge, I'm okay with that. But see, I don't like that straight edge right there. And so as I go along, I will slowly add some. That's definitely going to cover that up. See right there. And let's see, maybe, right. So well, that little spot. This is heavier cardstock, so you have to, when you use cardstock to collage with, which I don't most of the time, but I needed to this time because I didn't have any fall things printed off, then you need to, gotta kind of trim that, it's way off. Then you need to add, let's do that. Let's do this. Let's do this. Let's just tear it right there. And right there. My collage video today is a little wild. As you can see, I'm chasing the paper. We're gonna tear on one side. And I'll show you. Well, I attempted to tear on one side. It looks pretty torn, doesn't it? Okay. We'll just rugged it up a little. We'll just get it all rugged up. Rugged it up. We'll make it look torn. There we go. All right. So there's no way to do this and not have the biggest old mess. All right, so now let's get this piece on, and we'll have one more piece, and then I think we'll start, at that point, we'll start decorating them, because I'm thinking, you know, that will work just great. Okay, let me find, where is the other piece that's small? I saw a small little piece that would fit perfect here. I thought, maybe not. Oh, here is some of this. And I do love it. So, let's just do a small piece about like this. Of course, I'm not going about this the right way, as you can see. If you hold it correctly, you will get the results that you want. Me, I'm just trying to get it to go where it doesn't want to go. Now, let's see what we end up with here. Okay, come back over here, little tag. Yeah, this will work. Okay, so after this one, we're going to decorate the front, and I will add to the... Well, you know, we can't really, now that I think about it, gotta think for a minute. My head's not totally clear this morning. You know, when you don't feel super great, you don't always make the best choices. I think that I want to stitch them all before I actually... before I actually decorate them, because once you put decorations on them, they don't stitch very well for you. So, yeah. So I will stitch all of these as soon as they dry, and, yeah. And then we'll make sure to get them all decorated. And by the time I stitch them, I will also have the tea stain on the back. So what I think I'm going to do is show you how, real quick, how I do the tea stain on the back, because that is a big part of it. I mean, you know, if you've never done that, some people collage on the back. Some people put tea stain paper. I do both. But because I'm wanting to be able to move on to my Christmas book, I'm going to show you how I'm going to do this one, which I'm just going to take out a couple pieces at a time and go from there. What I'm going to do to cover the back, and oh my goodness, smells like cinnamon. All right, I am going to decide which side I like the best as far as how to lay my paper. You can get 2 or 3 out of each one. What I'm going to do is flip my tag over and really give it some glue. So I'm going to hold it where it gets a stronger amount, and this way I know that each one is going to be glued down nicely. Plus, it's not quite as bad on my hands. My hand that is not super happy right now. Okay, so see, we'll get 3 or 4 out of each page. And I like to do it like this, and I'm going to let them dry like this too. And then when they're dry, I'll cut them out and stitch around them. So let's get as many on here as we can. So let me move that up into the camera a little better. Another reason I like to stitch around these is because when I fold the book page over, as I showed you earlier, when I'm using it as a glue book, you know, like this one here, when the paper is done, I don't always go back and add a ton of glue to hold it shut. And because of that, I'm going to show you what I mean. I'm going to push that down as far as I can. There we go. Get this nice and glued down. Got a little loose spot right there. And you know, it just makes it, once you sew them down, you don't have that problem. But see, when I just fold it over, I don't add glue. And when this dries, not all these pieces will be glued down. It'll be like this, see? And so that's why I like to always put plenty of glue on them and stitch my paper down. Yeah, get 3 of these per tea-stained paper, so that's good. And when you stitch around them, they won't come apart. The fold will not separate. They'll be permanent, and they look much better when they have stitching around them. So, all right, we're going to let that dry. Let's pull out another one and work on it. Now, when you have a little bit of book page on the back that is just white, like this one, you can just put tea stain where it's not white, just over the letters. And you get a cool look that way too. Oh, sorry. That's the dog. She hears her daddy coming home with our Cracker Barrel. Don't you guys wish you were having it? Excuse me. No, actually, if I have to eat out Thanksgiving dinner, you know, they don't do as bad as you would think. So we, a lot of times we've gotten Cracker Barrel for our Thanksgiving dinner. And, you know, it's very filling, and when it's just him and I, we don't like to cook a big meal. Now, I think if it were he and I, period, and we were by ourselves every Thanksgiving, I'd be more likely to do it than to cook it, I think, because, you know, we'd never have it if we didn't. But being just the two of us, and we usually have the kids, you know, my daughter sent a picture just a little bit ago of her wearing the apron that I got her when they lived in Egypt. They lived in Egypt for a little over 2 years. And so, yeah, we got to visit them once over there, and it's a very humbling trip. You look at things a whole lot different after you've been there. But anyway, I'm going to be able to actually, I think, get 4 on this page. And I do have 1 more. So I guess we made 7, and I just didn't realize it. Yeah, this one has Darth Vader on the back. This is a book about Princess Leia. There's some illustrations from the movie on this tag. Yeah, there we go. Just barely. Yeah, it fits. Just barely. But just rub it down really good. And when they dry, cut them apart, and then stitch around them, and then we'll decorate in the next video. So this is going to be a little bit shorter video because we can't do anything else until we have all of these dried, stitched, and ready to go in the book. And in the meantime, I will also count them and make sure that we have plenty of tags made to go into the Traveler's Notebook. All right, guys, I hope you had fun today. If you haven't subscribed to my channel and you've enjoyed what you've seen today, not my best video, but collaging is a part of everything you do in journaling, it seems like. And we'll be back in the next video decorating these and putting them into the book. So you guys have a wonderful day, and see you soon.